Hey guys, welcome back. Today is going to be a learning lesson for anyone that wants to purchase or sell on eBay. We have a perfect example of how not to handle this on both ends. We're going to take a look at a lot of the receipts here. We're going to see what's going on and how did it end up being such a disaster. Thank you to Haley for showing me this. Now, I don't think Haley had any bad intentions here. There is a lot of stuff that I had to sift through in order to try to figure out and piece together what was going on here. So we have Twitch streamer, Goblin420. Little bit of a degen streamer, probably a degen audience based on, I mean, you guys can read the chat on the side. He's going to go after, he's going to call out, he's going to send the hate mob towards a shop, an eBay seller in this case, saying that he was scammed for a booster box of Pokemon cards that got damaged. Try and figure out where it got damaged, how it got damaged. We'll take a look at that. But seller being Allpoke TCG. Now, was Allpoke in the wrong? Their initial response, absolutely unacceptable. They fell into the trap that is, if you have a bad buyer, if you have a buyer who's hostile, you do not want to retaliate in any way. You do not want to flex in any way. You just go through the eBay procedure, which it seems like both parties were not totally familiar with. Don't worry, we'll touch on that. Most importantly here, we have a game store that is being the target of negative reviews who had nothing to do with it based on the video, the content that was published by Mr. Goblin. We have this poor store who had nothing to do with it. Allpoke TCG makes a little clarification here, saying that it's not owned by me. I rented that space 2 years ago and used it as a warehouse. Then I traded spots with a brick and mortar shop because we needed more room and they needed less. It's owned by a guy named Devin, who is literally the nicest guy I've ever met. He gives back to the C word like crazy. So let's take a look at the introduction of the damaged box that caused all these issues.
I have some shit we need to talk about because I just got fucking scammed on eBay, all right? And I wouldn't be discussing this on stream whatsoever if the fucking vendor didn't reply to my complaint and be like, I'm going to report you to eBay and get your review removed. All right, dickhead, get this one removed, you fucking loser. Look at how my box showed up, bro. Look at this. PSA 6. At best, look at this. It got punted, brother. Look at my look, side by side. This is what a normal box looks like. This is what the box I got looks like. Bro, fucking pissed on. Look, there's tears in the fucking seal and shit, dude.
When you receive damaged product, especially if it's due to shipping or maybe an error on the seller's part, you reach out in a kind manner. You show them photos. You say, hey, can I get a replacement? And or can I send this back to you? It's as simple as that. You do not tell them they suck, as we'll see in the upcoming conversation on eBay. So I reached out to the Goblin. I want to know where this was damaged. What happened? Was it damaged in transit? Was it really improperly packaged? We're going to take a look at all of that. So I reach out. Haven't received a response. I tagged him on the post as well that he was tagged and retweeted just to see if he was checking his DMs because I'd like to know. Where's the box? He doesn't show the box. For whatever reason, it's a little bit, I would be immediately, as a seller, a little bit suspicious if somebody's claiming that a product is damaged. Maybe they're baiting out a partial refund. Maybe they're just trying to pull one over you. Maybe they're going to swap the box out, right? There's many things that can happen here. So we didn't receive a response from him, but we did get some information from the seller here who shows the case being opened. It was all recorded. We have the box in question going into the packaging box here. Here it is going in. Doesn't look like the corners are mashed off of it. Based on that photo, we have USPS ground, the method that it was shipped, because we have a hard time keeping track of that later in the video. That's how it was shipped. So the question is, did USPS damage the box? Did they? If they did, that's fine. It's going to happen. I think this packaging method is more than adequate. I don't think any damage can happen to the box just by it shaking around in the box. People are going to be overly particular. They have a section as well. Allpoke TCG has a section where if they have damaged products, they stick it on the shelf here. They do giveaways and whatever with it. So why would they? I don't think they sent one in this condition. I don't think their intention, if it was getting damaged all the time with their packaging method, they would switch the packaging method, right? Don't you think? And then in case anyone's like, oh, they're scalpers. Common trope, common go-to. They have distribution. They have the stuff coming out of cases. Reminder for anyone that isn't aware, these cases, they're shipping them. Even the Pokemon Company, even distribution is shipping them in a cardboard box that is tight fit around the booster boxes. Those can get damaged. If it falls on one of the corners, one of the boxes on the outer edge is going to get damaged. It's going to happen. It's just one of those things. Usually the cards are fine unless like it would have to get run over by a transport truck in order to affect the cards in question. And for anyone that isn't familiar, I don't know if Goblin, it seems like he's pretty new to Pokemon cards and shipping methods and expectations and the like. Although he does show a damaged booster box. It's lightly damaged, but it's acceptable. Anything that's like severely damaged, you do not want to send that out, especially on eBay. Here's the Pokemon Center packaging. You want to talk about bad packaging? They will put your promo card in there. They'll put booster boxes. They'll be flopping around, hitting each other. And typically it doesn't really matter. And again, on their part, if it did matter, if there was enough complaints about it, they would change up their shipping process as well.
Before we go any further into today's stream, I need to talk about a very negative experience I just had with an eBay seller. And because this eBay seller has decided to abuse the feedback system to silence my negative review, which must be why this guy has a 100% rating somehow, we're going to do the review on stream. Okay, because I ordered a box of cards. Now, I will admit this was not a box of cards I was planning to open on stream.
Goblin goes on about how he opens so many boxes for the channel. If you're buying on eBay, guys, please read the description. Oftentimes, scammers will try and stick something in there. You essentially cannot get scammed on eBay. If you receive the wrong item, if the item arrives not as described, you have protection from eBay. That's the biggest reason to purchase on eBay. It might be more expensive, but you're going to be protected. Now, there are some obvious examples with fake cards that are selling for too little money and all the like. We're not going to touch on that, but you're protected. Not to mention the fact that if you read the description here, you should always read the description. If this is for your sealed collection, please let us know in the order notes and we will add extra packaging. So he didn't. You can add order notes to your purchase on eBay if you're particular about your box, if it's for a sealed collection. If you don't care, if you just want a box, it still needs to show up without tremendous damage. And usually that's going to be on the part of the shipping company. And if the shipping company did it, it's on the seller on eBay to make sure everything is right. So a little bit weird that we have somebody pointing out a sealed collection that has less units of booster boxes than bonks on top of the same display, but we'll leave it at that. Again, it's degen content and it's going to have like the absolute worst people that you could possibly send to harass others. Largely why I tell you guys in the videos, it doesn't matter even if someone's a scammer, do not harass them, do not engage with them. I want you guys to have all the information, spread the information. If somebody's scamming other people, I don't think this is a scam whatsoever. I think this was just handled poorly by both parties. Which is, it's no easier place, no more reason on a platform than eBay to just be civil with each other and get it resolved, because that's all it takes. That's what eBay is looking for. Yes, negative feedback can be removed from eBay. If you're a seller and the buyer is unreasonable, like they were in this case, if you do everything in your power to make it right for the customer, offer a refund, offer a return, yeah, they can leave some nasty comment about how you suck and everything else. And there's a good chance that eBay is going to see. They're going to go look. They're going to see, hey, the seller made it right. It wasn't their fault. It got damaged in shipping. End of story. Customer gets refunded. Seller does not get punished by somebody that is unreasonable. So yes, a bunch of degen drug type content. Now he's into Pokemon cards. This is kind of important for later on, pumping the GameStop stuff. He's going to high road the rip and ship, the TikTok rip and ship, which is not all bad people. There are bad people on there. Not all of them. Rip and ship is bad value. I tell you guys that all the time. Opening packs is also bad value. And then the gambling sites, like the GameStop, recent stuff, extremely bad value. Don't do it unless you want to waste some money. If you know you're going into it, if you're doing it responsibly, which sadly a lot of these companies are banking on the fact that you're not. Maybe you're just into bong ripping and wasting your money on slot machines from GameStop. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But you see here, he is opening a lot of packs. So in this case, if you receive a damaged box and you don't want to return it because you're going to open it, sure. But if you received a damaged box and if it was damaged in shipping, the eBay seller has to refund you. They'll often ask you, and they should as a seller, often they'll have to provide the label too. They'll send you a return label. You send it back to them. They make sure it's the same item. Now, that's not the same thing if you open the entire box and you're trying to return it. That's return fraud. That's a whole different ball game that we're dealing with here. Insane. So I don't know how much of it is like dishonesty on Goblin's part and just being vengeful, or maybe wanting to make it out of make content out of it. Like, oh, I got scammed, guys. I got scammed. But it was irresponsible, and we'll take a look at more of that. Again, it's like... Here, we got a clip from 3 days ago where he opens a Mega Evolution box. Why didn't you just keep that one sealed? Why don't you, if you're ordering more product, keep that one sealed? And if you're going to open product on stream, it doesn't matter if it's messed up a little bit. The cards probably aren't damaged in this example. Now, different story if you receive something and the cards inside, maybe there's no damage on the product whatsoever. If the cards inside are defective to a significant degree, you can contact the Pokemon company, and that's where that all stems from. So here's the box that he opened, which seems like it's in much better condition than the other one. I did talk to All Poke TCG. They said this was copied over, I think, from their website. The whole like imperfections and shrink wrap and stuff, like they're gonna have to put something like it in there. But it doesn't matter what you put in the description. It doesn't matter what terms you put there. It all comes down to eBay policy. That's when you're selling on eBay, it's eBay rules. So if they say no returns means you can't just return it because you don't feel like it. No returns means if you receive the wrong item, if you receive something that was heavily damaged by the shipping company, yes, you can get a return every time. Doesn't matter if they say returns or no returns, free returns. It's the eBay policy in place to protect buyers. It's a good one. It's good. It's abused often, but it's good.
I was originally going to put this in my sealed collection, which, as you can see behind me, I'm actually starting a sealed collection. I have these hard plastic cases that I use, and I have some booster boxes in there, and I want to have some, some sealed product. I just think it's cool. It's a pretty display. It makes you feel like I'm walking into the card store. I got fucking scammed on eBay. So I ordered this Mega Evolutions booster box. All right. I paid $300 for this booster box, which is far above the MSRP. And when I pay far above MSRP like that, I bare minimum expect to receive the product properly packaged and safely to my door. Okay? That is the minimum of what I expect. I don't expect much out of scalpers, but like bare minimum, I at least hope that I will receive my card in my box in a displayable condition as advertised, okay? As you can see here, that is obviously not how I received my fucking pack.
Reminder that this is what the packaging looks like. There is little room for this thing to move around. There is no possible way that damage is going to occur, or basically any damage is going to occur short of the box getting destroyed by the shipping company, USPS in this case.
This seller placed this shit into a cardboard box with zero bubble wrap or any protection. No peanuts, no bubble wrap or anything. Literally just a box that, mind you, you could shake it and the box would shake. Like it wasn't an airtight fit or anything. Side to side it was, because it was laid out flat like this, right? But up and down you could shake it and it would get fucked up.
So him not showing the damaged outer packaging, which he should have, to the seller initially, and then most of the time he's not mentioning that the outer packaging. Here he says that one of the corners was smashed in. He references other packages that he received that got smashed in. I don't think that like one corner of the box would have done that. Like it would have to be two corners essentially. If the backside of it is beat like that, it would have to be like a whole edge that would be beaten in. in order for this much damage to occur. So it's a weird story. It's a little bit hard to believe. I wish we had images. I wish the whole thing would have been settled in a civil manner, but that's not what we got today.
Now, one of the corners of the box was fucked. I opened the box thinking, whatever. Dude, I've gotten a million different boxes where I've gotten a million different booster boxes mailed to me where the outside box was completely fucking cooked. But it's okay because bubble wrap's in there and it's protected, right?
So the large majority of his complaint is that it was for a seal collection and it can't look like this. It's not acceptable. But then here he's saying that he would be okay with it, or maybe he normally would be okay with it as long as the cards are damaged. We don't know if the cards are damaged. Regardless, if you have a box that arrives with this much damage on it, you just politely ask the eBay seller if you can return it. They, by eBay's rules, have to accept that return. Hopefully they, in response, politely accept the return. Issue over. That's it.
And at the end of the day, I wouldn't be that upset about this if the cards weren't damaged. If it was just damage to the exterior of the box and maybe a tear in the wrap, I don't care.
Here's a reference to UPS, who must have done something terrible. They must have been throwing the box around, manhandling the box, which is indeed what would have to happen in order for the inside box, booster box, to get damaged in this way. So yes, that's not on the seller. It is on the seller to make it right, to make sure that you're compensated for your purchase, that you can return that item, but it's out of their hands. With the shipping companies, they're going to make mistakes. Sometimes stuff is going to get damaged.
So look at this fucking two corners, right? This top right of the box clearly took a huge fucking impact, right? Clearly took a huge fucking impact. Look at this. Look at this corner, bro. It's folded the fuck in. There's a tear right fucking there, right? This corner, same fucking thing. Tear right there. It's like they were at fucking UPS just tomahawking my box across, right? The person who sold me this box is someone on eBay named AllPokeyTCG, okay? Now, this guy has a 100% positive rating. Look at this fucking shit, right? This guy has a 100% positive rating. So I felt comfortable placing an order because I was like, oh, dude, look, this guy has 1,000 fucking positive ratings, right?
Now, misconception time. 100% rating doesn't mean that the person isn't a scammer, but it does mean that they have been following eBay's rules. And one of the biggest rules with eBay is if you don't receive what you purchased, you get a refund. You get the ability to return that item. So take note here when we get into the eBay messages, because when he reads his, he seems to be very, very calm, like much calmer than he is throughout the rest of the entire video and situation. At this point, he's gonna be real tame as he reads his. This is buyer 101 on eBay. Do not send a message like this if you have an issue with an order, because what best case scenario, like they're going to fight back with you and make a mistake as well. Like fighting with people on eBay is just the worst possible thing that you can do. Being hostile, show them what it is. You'll get a refund. You'll be able to return the item if you choose to do so.
I messaged him, and admittedly, I'm fucking pissed, right? I mean, look at how my box showed up. You didn't protect it whatsoever. How does a vendor with a 100% positive rating have that? So I hit him up. I'm like, hey, why'd you ship this with zero protection in a cardboard box? Package arrived with multiple tears in the shrink wrap. I was planning to keep this for my sealed collection and show the product on my stream. I'll be leaving a negative review as soon as eBay allows me. eBay doesn't let you leave negative feedback for a week. So I literally, the only option is positive. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to message you and be like, dude, like, here's my negative review. Fuck you, right? Pretty shocked a card vendor with a 100% positive rating is tossing booster boxes into empty cardboard with zero protection. You suck. Look at what this fucking dickhead responds, okay? Name calling is extremely unprofessional. Brother, I'm a buyer on eBay. You could have shipped this shit to a crack house. What are you talking about professional? What are you, hello?
No matter how hostile a buyer is, no matter how much they're in the wrong, then this kind of goes for everything, but especially on eBay, that is not the correct response. You do not fuel the fire. You do not tell them that you're going to get their feedback removed. You handle it the way that eBay wants it handled, and they acknowledge that. They say, yeah, I realize that was our mistake, and I apologize. We have a young employee that handles customer responses. Doesn't matter if it's an employee. The employee needs to know, do not fight with anyone. It doesn't matter what they say. They could say the meanest things about your mother and what they did to them last night. Doesn't matter. Do not fight with them. You offer the return, And if it's a terrible buyer and you do not want to do business with them in the future, you block them and they can't purchase from you again. That's it. That's all. That's all it takes. That's what should have been responded with here. And instead, we have the situation at hand. They say we have a young employee that handles customer responses. If I'm honest, he had a pretty rough day that day. His dog died, but that's not an excuse. He received some strict training since that incident. So again, not the customer's problem. If you're having a bad day, sorry about your dog. That's a sucky situation. But again, the back and forth is not even needed in this instance. It just needs to be, please open a return and we will gladly have you ship it back to us for a full refund. That's it. That's all it took. That's all it would have taken.
Brother, this isn't Goblin LLC. This is me talking, motherfucker. So we ship using TCG standards. No, they don't, bro. I order so many. You guys know for a fact. You guys watch me open these boxes. I order so many fucking boxes for our stream. I have never received one in an empty cardboard box with no protection. Right? We use exact fit boxes, which is the industry standard for modern sets. Yeah, the box they use is an exact fit when you lay it down, but top to bottom, it's too tall. So the box can shake the fuck around. But that doesn't even matter because the box was shit. It was fucked like this, right?
Packaging was fine. There was nothing wrong with the packaging. Yes, some are going to get damaged. It doesn't matter what packaging you put in place. It still can get damaged. There are places that offer the acrylic. If you're buying the acrylic boxes anyway, you can buy it. They can put it in the acrylic beforehand. You can go into a shop in person if you want to inspect the box beforehand and make sure that you're getting a clean example. Shipping damage is going to happen. Again, they say leave an order note if you want it for the seal collection, and here's what they do. It has on the label there, packing instructions, says for sealed collection, and they'll add some extra packing material, some paper in around the outside. This does not make it invincible. That does not mean that it's not going to get damaged. If they spike this thing into the ground in between when they pick it up and when they drop it off, it's still going to get damaged. And yes, it doesn't matter at that point in time. I'm sure you can contact them in a civil manner, and they should respond with a very solid resolution. Whether they tell you to ship that one back and they send you another one, that's all it takes. Like you gotta be a little kinder to each other if you expect customer service. Or I mean, you're gonna get terrible buyers on eBay. If anyone out there, I'm sure you guys have sold on eBay. If you have sold on eBay, you've run into the same situation, and the worst possible thing you can do is not just resolve it and move on. That's kind of what it comes down to.
Either way, usually this fucking guy thinks I'm retarded. This dude says usually using bubble wrap increases the chance of plastic tearing because it's plastic on plastic. This fucking guy just tried to tell me that bubble wrap will increase the odds of my package being damaged. This fucking idiot just tried to explain to me that this fucking box would have been more damaged if he had used bubble wrap. Okay, dude, you fucking retard. We will be reporting you to eBay and your negative review will be removed. Have a nice day.
Okay, so no, bubble wrap is not going to tear the plastic on your package. It's also not going to make it impenetrable. It still can get damaged. We have much to cover here. Stick with me. I know this is a long one, but I wanted to include all the details. If you guys want to support the channel, the link tree is the best way to do so. You can get some discount codes, save some money on the things that you're going to buy anyway, support the channel at the same time, or affiliate links. Click it before you shop for the things you're going to buy anyway. The free ways to support the channel are the best ways to support the channel. Thank you to Card Market for sponsoring. Let's get back into it's kind of drama. It's drama, but it is escalated to the point that it's more of an issue that other shop is getting targeted for something they weren't involved in, and we got a whole lot of hateful messages to take a look at.
Reporting me for what? I received a damaged product. You offer no recourse. You offer no refund. You offer fuck all. So after that, I'm fucking pissed. I tell him to kiss my ass. Originally, this would have literally just been this would have never been discussed on stream. This would have literally just been a negative eBay review, and I would have just ripped the box on stream. Doesn't fucking matter. Whatever.
Lesson for sellers out there: do not if you're gonna report a bad buyer, do not tell them you're gonna. It does you zero good to tell them. It's just gonna piss them off more. and they're gonna get heated. They're gonna post online whether they have a platform or not. They're gonna get pissed off. It's not worth it. It's extra time and effort that you do not need to sink into your day to day. This part's kind of funny because he's like, "Oh, I definitely I didn't want to bring the public attention to this. I didn't want to drop the streamer card. I didn't want to, let them know that I have a platform to expose them on." But like you mentioned that you have a Twitch stream in the first message, and the second one is you threatening to post it online. It seems like you were pretty ready to drop the platform leverage, as they say.
But he decided to game the system and get my fucking review removed, right? So suck my dick. So I reply, I say, throwing my booster box into a loose-fitting cardboard box is extremely unprofessional. I'm the buyer, you're the seller. Did you forget which direction professionalism is supposed to go? Thanks for admitting to abusing eBay's report system to filter out your poor reviews. Which, I mean, dude, I'm going to show you guys some other evidence in a minute that I think he does this maybe a little more often than just my incident. Since you like to abuse the system to hide my review, you can find my official review of your eBay store on my Twitch page tomorrow. I played the card. I play the social media card. Listen, this isn't a card I play, right? Normally, this is eBay business. It stays on eBay. But, bro, if you're going to fucking get me banned on eBay and remove my review, then suck my dick. Get this one removed, asshole, right?
You guys see how this was done wrong on both parts here? So he's gonna continue to message. He's going to put in some bad words, some naughty words. Apologies for the language in this video. I just thought that context was pretty important. We're gonna blur out some of the especially bad words later in the video. But what they say, stop messaging us. All you had to do, initial one statement. You don't even have to reply after that. Offer the return. eBay will be happy. If the customer truly wants to return it, they'll be happy. They should be happy with that result. And that's your obligation on the eBay platform. Easy, right?
Kiss my ass. Fucking he replies, look at this shit. Please stop messaging us. What the fuck kind of customer service is this? You ship damaged products to people. When they tell you suck for the product getting damaged, you abuse the system to remove their feedback and then say, don't message me.
So here, Goblin thinks that he's only getting a return. He's only eligible for a return because he had a platform and because he sent the hate mob after them, that sort of thing. I'm here to tell you that's not the case because eBay has your back regardless. They should know that. They've sold enough stuff on eBay that they know that. They also have an insurance policy. Instead of reacting to you, Goblin, coming out the gate like an asshole and saying that they suck and everything else, they fell into that trap. They decided to fight with you, or at least put a snarky response when they should have just said, if you'd like to return the item, please open a return. Yes, you could have opened a return at any point in time. You do not even need permission from the seller to do so. It's still good etiquette to reach out to the seller and describe the issue, have them say, okay, like return the items. This is how we're going to solve the issue for you. That's not what happened.
I'll show you the full message logs, right? But at the very end of this, they offer me a refund. They offer me a return. Why would they offer me a return? Because I posted this conversation on my Instagram story and I tagged them and I said, buyer beware, these fucking guys don't care about you. They certainly don't care about me. And it seems they only started caring when they realized that I have a platform that they can't get me banned from, right?
Here's where we get into shoddy research as he tries to expose the game store that scammed him and must be scamming so many other people. He goes on to their website to take a look at their return policy, which has nothing to do with eBay. It doesn't. You play by eBay's rule on eBay. Their rules, their platform, completely different. Why does he have to pull it from here? Why didn't he go back and look at the description? Why didn't he initially look at the description? But also, you could just go back to the description of the item that you purchased on eBay to see what they had in terms of rules that, again, you can make up whatever rules you want in the description. They don't matter. It's eBay's rules. Got it?
So go to their, actually, no, I'll show you the return policy right now. So go to their website right now, right? What is your refund policy for damaged products? Okay. Interesting. Yeah. What is your refund policy for damaged products? And the important thing is here that they don't offer refunds for damaged products, except in my case, suddenly they're offering me a refund. I'll show you that in a minute, right?
Reminder that we're on the website now, not on eBay, where eBay's rules apply. He's going through these terms. I don't know if he's not familiar with the fact that like his website terms don't really matter on eBay. That's different ball game altogether. So he's going to go into damaged, defective products and stuff like that. If anything's damaged in shipping, doesn't matter where it is, yes, you can get a refund. Oftentimes people are going to be too particular with little details, so they might overstate their terms and conditions on their website or elsewhere. But it's to protect their own ass when they have people that are just terrible customers that are going to order. Maybe they return most of the boxes that aren't in perfect condition because that's their expectations, that sort of thing. But in terms of if there's defective stuff inside the box, that's on the Pokemon Company. Then you have to reach out to the Pokemon Company. If you open cards and they are all just massacred, it's a pain in the ass, but you can contact the Pokemon Company. I had Chilling Reign and Battle Styles reverses that were just absolute. They looked like they were rubbed around on the floor. They compensated me for that. It was a giant pain in the ass. There were a lot of hoops to jump through. That, at that point, is not the fault of the seller or the shipping from the seller to you. That's a whole different story.
Product is brand new, factory sealed. Imperfections in shrink wrap and product packaging may happen and does not qualify for replacement or discount. I understand that. I agree with that. Yeah, the Pokemon factory doesn't always shrink wrap the same way. That's fine. The problem is the Pokemon factory isn't playing fucking kickball with my boxes, okay? Like FedEx does because you didn't protect the box, right?
Seems like Goblin didn't read the description on the eBay listing that says that you can request in the order notes for extra protection, but he does notice it here on their website that it really has nothing to do with his purchase that was made. And he's going to be the defender of all the people that are just looking to open product. Again, the packaging is fine. The way they packaged it, most of the time, I don't know what percentage, but some like super tiny percentage of the time, the post office, USPS in this case, it doesn't matter what the shipping company is, someone's going to damage it. The cards are usually going to be fine. That's what it is. If you've been in Pokemon a while, you've seen this, you know this. A little ding or dent on something that you're going to open anyway, doesn't matter. And the option is there. If you want the extra protection, and if it does, even if it's just mildly damaged, then at least you have something to go to the seller with and say, hey, my box has a ding on the side of it because they screwed it up. Can we resolve this? Can you send me a replacement? Can I return this one? Whatever you need to do. They should, and they will, by eBay, through eBay, because eBay requires them to do so.
This is for your sealed collection. Please let us know in the order notes and we will add extra packaging. Bro, someone who rips a box like this apparently doesn't deserve extra protection on their box because they're not keeping it sealed. Because fuck if the cards are damaged, right? Fuck it, who cares, right? They want to send it to PSA? Who cares? No, fuck them.
Now, I know what you're saying, Rattle. I can see clear as day. It says order cancellation, not refund policy, but I guess he's under the impression that he's going to have to pay 10%. There's no restocking fee, does not exist, cannot be charged through eBay. But also, this is just an order cancellation because in this day and age, whether it was this boom or the last boom, you have a lot of people that will place orders through their website in this case and will decide, oh, the price went down before I received my product. I would like to cancel my order. This is to discourage that. They tell me, Allpoke TCG tells me that they've only had to implement it a few times and it's people that are just abusing pre-orders. Buying at a certain price, they put a warning on there. If you buy at this price, make sure you're happy with that price. The price can go up, the price can go down. We've seen both sides. We've seen game stores that abuse this and cancel pre-orders. We've seen customers who do the same thing. It's bad. It's a symptom of the current market conditions and any other time. We saw the same shit during the pandemic. People screaming that they got their orders canceled. You got to be happy with who you're ordering from. That's kind of what it comes down to. Not to mention the fact that you should not be paying $300 to $500 for a brand new booster box if it's a sealed collection item at this point in time, if it's an investment of some kind, because the entire history of the Pokemon, I've said this many times in many videos and people just don't want to believe it. It's always different this time. They've always been reprinted. Anything that got up even around the $300 mark too soon got reprinted. These will likely get reprinted to the point that they're less money. Are they focusing on other products currently? Yes. But I would be very surprised. You got to be very careful with this stuff. For all the people that are new that weren't around for it during the pandemic, your Vivid Voltage, your Chilling Reign, your Battle Styles, the stuff that went to $80 a box. after it was very expensive on release, all the way back to Roaring Skies, everyone's favorite example, because back then it was kind of unprecedented. It was a $300 booster box too soon, and swoop-de-doop, they printed the living dick out of it. It took a while before they did so. There's a lot of people that got burned on that, and if you're thinking that this is just like free money, free investment, and you're buying on the secondary market, whole different story. Not to mention all that, like, you see it all the time. It's like, oh, the game stores, they're scalpers. They're scalping. Their prices are so, they're also getting a lot less product. I don't suggest you buy the product unless you just want to, you're okay with wasting money. Currently. If you don't care, if your $300 box, if your $400 box, if your $500 box goes to $100, then by all means, do what you got to do, but just know that it is a real possibility and it is more likely than not.
Even funnier is their absolutely predatory order cancellation and refund policy. Look at this fucking shit, bro. So this guy offers me a refund, so I'm like, okay, let's go look at their refund policy. All order cancellations are subject to a 10% fee with no exceptions. This policy is necessary to cover the real and immediate costs our business incurs as soon as... Bro, you sell booster boxes for double MSRP. You can take the 10%, you fucking idiot. Like, what do you... Dude.
Look out, guys. He's going to bring out his top-tier investigation skills, and he's going to find the TikTok account under the exact same name as the eBay account that he purchased from. And he's going to get into high-roading. The degenerate bong display, drug content, gambling online with Pokemon card, GameStop stuff. He's going to high-road the rip and shippers. He's going to high-road the scalpers. He's going to high-road the stores that are charging more than MSRP.
Turns out to be, after I did a little digging, one of the very biggest card vendors on TikTok. He is one of those rip and shippers who I'm sure you guys have probably heard some questionable things about. This guy has 400,000 fucking followers on TikTok shipping cards to kids swiping their mom's credit cards on the TikTok shop because he just marks up cards and ships them to fucking 8-year-olds on TikTok. And on TikTok, there's no recourse. There's no review. Like, you just get fucked. You just get fucked, right?
Now, you do not just get fucked. If you're purchasing from anywhere, you want to make sure you're doing so through a PayPal. You want to make sure you're doing so with your credit card so that in worst case scenario, if you're doing something risky, if you're buying from anywhere risky, you have a means to get your money back. That's what it comes down to. In the case with eBay, which we should be discussing right now, that isn't an issue. That isn't a problem. You could have received a refund right away. You should have been offered it right away, but you could have also just applied for a refund and you would have got one. That's it.
I posted on Twitter, and as you can see, I'm blocked, which is W customer service. That's W customer service. Customer complaint, I fucking block him, dude.
They should have resolved it first, immediately, as soon as there was an issue, regardless of how hostile you came in with the initial message. But then also, they should have blocked you on eBay. They should and can, if they choose to do so, block you anywhere else. Even before the campaign was put out that resulted in a lot of harassment. Some directed in the wrong direction. Goblin, instead of showing us his package that was damaged by the shipping company, which he should have sent initially in the eBay message, he's going to go back, he's going to do some digging, he's going to do some research, he's going to look back to 2024 with a box that has a small ding on the corner and say that this is an ongoing issue. That seems deceptive, but maybe he just doesn't understand that if someone's sending a lot of packages and you have to go all the way back to 2024 to look at an example that's got a tiny ding on the corner, and the other game store that's commenting on it says that it's not bad shipping practice. I've received many boxes. I've shipped many things. I'm telling you that the packaging is not bad. Yes, it can get damaged. Yes, any package, doesn't matter how tight you wrap it. You could put the acrylic case inside there. I've had an acrylic case with packs in it that got broken in transit. It can be mishandled by the shipping company. And then they're to blame. The shipping company is to blame. The seller makes it right from you. Easy.
Posted a thread about this same exact vendor getting complaints about this. What do you, the tweet here reads, what do you all think of all Pokey TCG's statement? Also, what about the customers? Mind you, that's the same guy who shipped me this. That's the same name right here. This is the same fucking person that they're referring to. I think most shop owners would agree their shipping wasn't bad this time. I've seen photos of their absolutely horrible shipping, but this time not bad. This guy has a reputation for shipping fucked up boxes. This guy's known for it. This man is a terrorist, right?
Here's his smoking gun. We're gonna take a closer look at the photos of the packaging that is absolutely fine. It's got some dents on the corner, which in this case could have happened before. If there's no dents on the outside of the box, moving around in the box a little bit is not going to push a whole side in. It's not going to damage a corner. The outside packaging, if it does get heavily damaged, is going to impact the inside. It is going to impact the box. That's a risk that the seller is taking. That's it. In this case, it could have been straight from the case like that, with the little dented in corners. Even the example that Goblin showed that he was happy with had like some little dents and stuff on it. So that's what we're looking at.
This is exactly how my box came. Look, he just puts it in the tightest cardboard box possible, but it's not even airtight. If you shake it, there's room for damage. If there's any damage on the outside of the box, it's completely fucking over with. Look at this. No fucking nothing. No bubble wrap in there. Nothing going on. Just fucking good luck, dude. Just good luck, dude. Good fucking luck. You know? Really, truly good luck.
Now, here is where the seller is in the wrong, and this is where they finally put it in a message and tell him that he can return it. It is not, you should not assume that the average eBay buyer understands the process behind eBay, that they can open a return and you'll take care of it from there. It should have been put some basic instructions. Hey, sorry it arrived damaged. Open a return and we'll take it back and refund you the full amount. That's it. So it being prolonged to here, I don't think it had necessarily anything to do with it. Don't assume that the customer knows, because there's a lot of very, very dumb customers on eBay. Put it right out there for them. Tell them to open the return. Done. Make sure they open the return, because if they're doing fraudulent things where they're doing multiple returns or mass returns, make sure they're the ones that open it, but you can instruct them and just tell them that's the process from the get-go. That's it. If you want to block them because they're saying kiss my ass and you suck and all this other shit, you don't have to deal with them beyond the first message. And you shouldn't have in this case.
After begging me to leave him alone, thought the convo was done here. All of a sudden, 30 minutes after I post on Instagram, he realizes, oh shit, more than 2 people have seen my Instagram story. Now he replies, just return the box to us. That's normal eBay practice. I don't know why you had to resort to name calling. I literally said you suck. And this guy's reacting like a fucking 8-year-old, dude.
So, as the buyer here, Goblin should have asked for a refund, asked for the resolution that he wanted. He wasn't asking for a partial refund. He wasn't asking for a refund or a return whatsoever from the beginning. And here he doesn't want the return afterwards. It's a little bit weird. I hope nothing like malicious is going on in the fact that like it's more beneficial for him to say that he got scammed, that sort of scenario. But you just ask for it from the beginning. It's still on the seller to make sure you know how to do that, how the process works on eBay. But you don't want to return it. You're okay with it now?
No thanks. I'll just keep my review up. Have a good one. Stop harassing me.
I touched on it in the beginning, but what's coming up here is one of the most important parts of this whole thing. The lack of research that was done resulted in somebody getting review bombed by the Bong Degen squad when they had absolutely nothing to do with it, just based on some poor research, based on an address that was used by the company in the past, and now this guy has to suffer for it. So he says, hi Dylan, we've been getting a lot of reviews about shipping and service, but we are a different business than the one people are trying to review. Collective's Corner in Omaha is a brick and mortar card shop, and we do not do online orders or shipping through our website. So pretty disappointing stuff. Hopefully he makes a correction on that and has people remove their wrongfully placed reviews. Like review bombing in general, pretty degen stuff when it's not an actual fair and honest review to begin with. But when it's directed at the wrong person, That's a whole another level of dangerous where this person is going to receive harassment and hate for something they had nothing to do with it. It shouldn't be sent to anyone to begin with. Reminder on the channel here, if I cover anyone, whether it's these two people in the video here who made mistakes, whether it's the worst scammer of all time, you should not be harassing them. You should not acceptable.
If any of you are Omaha, Nebraska residents, you especially need to be aware of this guy's brick and mortar store, okay? There it is. That's his store right there, right? Hey, I probably wouldn't, I personally am not going to be entering that place of business anytime soon, okay? I'll fucking tell you that much, okay? He has now deleted the Google profile for his business.
Let's get into, and we got some of the hate that's being sent forward. We got some voicemails here. We got somebody that is trying to seek out information on where to find them, which is not cool. We got some people, we got some blurred out words here. Are some blank, go ahead and give Goblin a blank refund, y'all blank scammers. And it gets worse as we take a look at the ticket system here. We got a whole lot of KYS, we got the FU, we got a bunch of 42069s, and then we got the N-word being spammed into the ticket system. Now, when I talked to All Poke TCG regarding them saying that they were told to kill themselves, apparently somebody through the ticket system entered an email address that was Goblin's website. It might not have been Goblin himself. It could have been anyone. Probably one of the people that he got all riled up in his coverage of the situation where he got scammed. He didn't get scammed. It was poor customer service. It was poor interactions on both sides. Reminder for that. Now let's get into him taking a look at that footage and his reaction to it. We'll pause in between. We're going to 2x because this video is long enough. You made it to the end.
Conversation. They also decided to address it on the stream. They claimed Goblin told them themselves in DMs that he was an internet troll looking for clout.
So it's blanked out there because YouTube, I guess.
Oh, I need to see this clip. Wait, no, you guys are clutch. Listen, no, you guys are stellar. No, hold on. This is an amazing audience we have here. I just want to say, I would love this. I would love to see this. Let's go ahead and tune in.
They told us to unalive ourselves.
Goblin.
I would like to highlight. We have just read every single message on stream, top to bottom. We have just read every single message on stream, top to bottom, and they're included in this tweet, in a compilation. They're included in this. Bro said I told him to.
They automatically blocked him. And then
automatically blocked him. Brother, my account's still active, and you just messaged me.
Basically,
like,
now he's like going off on us. Dark EX, but I know.
You can message back and forth on eBay, even if someone's blocked. And yes, All Poke TCG admits that it was unlikely that Goblin sent that himself, and they shouldn't have said that on stream if it wasn't coming directly from him. But sounds like it is very likely that it came from within the tickets that were submit, and that was their mistake.
And it's like, if you want help, don't tell somebody to unalive themselves.
Don't tell someone to, bro, these TikTokers piss me the fuck off. You can't even say the term, bro. These TikTokers piss me the fuck.
So he says he can't say the term. Can't say the term. Didn't say the term there. But he also had to censor himself out. Oh, sorry. The clip guy had to censor him out there for YouTube.
Fuck off, dude.
Like, who's going to want to help you?
Just remember, this is the person that you could be buying your cards from. All Poke TCG will send you a box with 0 protection for the product you paid $300 for. The product will arrive damaged, and when you ask him why he shipped it like that...
It won't necessarily arrive damaged. It can arrive damaged, like it can from many other sellers, including the Pokemon Center, who is much more likely to send you something damaged with all the empty space that they send in the boxes. So, you're full of shit at this point.
Telling you such for shipping it like that, he will block you, abuse eBay system to silence your negative feedback, and then go on his live stream and claim and just outright lie about you. Just straight up fucking lie, bro. Just outright lie. I've shown you every single message in my chat history. I would love to see this dumbass pull up any proof that I ever said that to him. Please, brother. I'll tell you what. I'll buy a full sealed case of these booster boxes off your website, and you can punt them all across your shitty little warehouse. And before you ship them to me, if you can show me proof that I said that to you, please do it. Please do it.
Yeah, if you tell somebody that. How you always package it? Yeah. Annihilate with a stamp.
Mind you, do you want to see how he always packages it? We showed this earlier. I'll show it again. There's another fucking person who has
Don't
many
show it
messages.
again.
He literally
This
just puts
is
in boxes, not even
from
paper.
2024.
He's
Show us your box.
Using plastic on plastic increase the chance of tears. Okay, have you ever heard of packing paper, you fucking retard? Like, hello? Do you think all your customers are 8-year-old TikTok live viewers? We're not, my guy. We're not, my guy.
That doesn't affect me. It's honestly kind of funny.
Your viewers might be on the lower end too if they're into
He's
the
fighting for his life on Twitter. He's now fighting for his life in the TikTok live. It's kind of funny, guys. It's kind of funny.
edgy shit that you're doing.
It's kind of funny, bro.
Gengar. Rizdoom.
Hope and seed. Hope and
EX.
seed.
Is it a game? Yeah, so we're going to be the bigger person, move on.
We're going to be the bigger person and move on. We're going to be the bigger person and move on.
And, if anything, just pushing more people towards our page to see our are actual good reviews.
Yeah, all these people. Yeah, dude, you fucking ban all the negative reviews. No shit, dumbass. Hell
Most
no.
people actually want to support us because they like us.
I mean,
And
dude.
You offer them a refund if you returned it too, so we don't really.
That's not. I want to remind you that's against their policy, and they only offered a refund after I posted on Instagram and they realized how bad this was about to become. That's the only. They do not offer refund.
A refund was always on the table. It's eBay. A reminder, it's eBay. Yes, they should have pointed that out, pointed you in that direction immediately, and then blocked you.
We went over their policy earlier, right? Those guys were just tuning in the stream. We missed this earlier. You're gonna have clip channel video.
W engagement for real.
Reminder that if you block somebody on eBay, it doesn't. You can still message back and forth. It's just going to prevent him from buying from you in the future.
He's just trying to, I think, use our platform.
Yes, bro. Your 200 viewer TikTok stream is a massive platform that I need to use to get
we're
popular. Your
flexing.
200 viewer Japanese card unboxing. I need to use your platform, bro.
A lot of streamers right now are doing that, like new Pokemon streamers, because they want to be relevant.
These new Pokemon streamers, bro. These fucking new Pokemon streamers, dude.
People do anything for clout chat. I'm stoned.
So,
Anything for
Mods,
clout.
I appreciate all your hard work.
Lots, I appreciate all your hard work.
Maybe giving you mods. Fantastic boosters over here.
Mind you, they didn't also offer me a refund. They asked me to ship it back and then they refund. They're not paying for that shipping. And their fucking return policy says if you return something, you'll get $90 back. They didn't offer me an outright refund. Or you'll get
He's into the return policy again. The 90% is canceled orders. Again, that's for like pre-orders and stuff like that are volatile in price. They might go up, they might go down. What they're saying there is you got to lock in the price. It's on their website. That's not eBay. That's a whole different story.
90% back. They didn't offer me an outright refund. They never offered that. That was never on the table. They literally said they will get my review
It was
deleted
a
and said, please
full
stop messaging
refund.
us. Oh my
Yeah, you could
god.
easily got a refund, but
You could have easily got a refund. Bro, their website literally says no refunds. Yo, Bryce, my clips guy, throw up the refund policy as I'm saying this, dude. You know what to do.
It doesn't matter. It's eBay. Holy Christ.
nice to go through eBay's system of refunding.
eBay said
Also, the clip guy forgot that to add it in there, but the refund policy doesn't apply. Again, whether or not he doesn't understand this or it might be in bad faith.
system, pal. My bank's hearing about your bitch ass, okay? And I'm undefeated on the bank frontier. I've had it.
Ooh,
So he's going to threaten a
savage.
charge back.
Yeah, y'all heard it. He's
That's
gonna give y'all mods
crazy.
retail booster boxes of Phantasm.
Ooh, bro's paying his mods real quick. Yo, ban everyone who has a problem with your shipping practices, dude. Here's a booster box for you guys. Here's a booster box for you guys. This guy's been live the whole time I've been streaming, just saying outright lies. Like, and I told him, yo, if I wasn't on Twitch right now, I probably would. I probably would, okay? I probably fucking would, okay? But it's all right. You know, what are you gonna do? Listen, everyone watching
So you get it. Toxic streamer, toxic audience, and then he sends them after people and they go for the wrong people. That's pretty much the moral of the story here. It's a giant mess. I feel for anyone that's getting harassed over a booster box that could have been easily resolved. Both are at fault here. The initial response from the seller should have been better, but then also him weaponizing his bong army. That's where it gets too much, especially if it's based on his shitty research, pointed in the wrong direction, and affecting people that have nothing to do with the entire situation. Did anyone learn anything from this? Hopefully you did. This is it was a lot to piece together. Thanks for tuning in. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. Join the Discord if you haven't already. Get those restock notifications. Get your stuff at MSRP, which is probably the best price for now, but not necessarily in the future. Take care.